Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Dr. Dow, the prevention advocate, and happy to be back. Our office was closed for spring break for a week, and so glad to be back. And so glad to be back today with this week's mentor moment, which is titled, What Do You Need to Drop a Millstone On? And so let's get into it. It specifically talks about when asking this question, and it's a hypothetical question, but it is a question to encourage you to take an assessment, an internal inventory, an internal assessment, of self, and comb over some things and just think about what are some things that you need to lay aside, what are some things that you need to literally cut loose, right? What burdens are you carrying that you have carried and you've been carting them around for far too long? And so that's what this topic speaks to. What type of pain that you've been masking, um, that you need to let go. You need to literally let it go. You need to acknowledge it for what it was, what it is, and you need to give name to it and let go. And so this is definitely something that is not always easy, because it's easy to let go of easy things, right? It's challenging to let go of things that have been hurtful. It's hard to let go of things that you think and perceive are, they right. But literally they wrong. It's hard to let go of people, places, and things that you think were supposed to stay your whole journey in life. And that's not true, because everything has a time, a place, and a season. And so sometimes, with letting go comes up a whole flood of emotions and thoughts and feelings, right? Which is quite natural because we are human beings. But at the same time, when they come up, we need to acknowledge them. We need to identify them, and we need to properly process them, put them in their place, and still let go. Okay. And so I want to encourage you this way, today, in this way, as we have entered into the second quarter. March is over. Those 3 months have went by really, really fast. To me, I don't know about you, but we've rolling into April, and we are literally actively in a spring season, which is a new season. Even the weather patterns, are adjusting and changing to spring. And so I think now is a great time to do a little cleanup. Yeah, clean up some of that clutter. And especially some that's been hiding, excuse me, in the corners of your heart for far too long. It's time to let go. It's time to drop a millstone on them. It's time to break free. It's time to get rid of some of these chains and these shackles that for far too long have kept you, bound and down to old season and old things. That's one thing that I think that we all can learn. A value that's a valuable asset in this journey called life is, in order to make room for new, you got to get rid of the old. So you got to clean up the clutter. you know we still living in a society today that kind of like sweep stuff under the rug. We just call it something else, right? We just call it protecting our peace. We call it excuse me, living our truth. But if you got to do all that excuse me, if you got to make all those disclaimers, you know, about some things that's going on in your life, about your character, about your attributes, about your temperament, about your disposition, about how you living, yeah, it actually may not be the truth, right? It may actually not be you living your truth. It may not be that you actually protecting your peace. It may be you protecting some mess. Okay. And so, I'm always, up for a challenge. I'm gonna give you a challenge because doing work on heart matters is not easy. It's not easy, but it's beneficial. It's very beneficial, excuse me. And so when you put in the work and you put in the effort, you'll be amazed how much things in your life change for the better and for the good. But you got to do the work, right? Can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. And so, and a lot of times that just starts with making a decision about one thing, and you be surprised, how when you make decisions about something that you for a long time been putting off, for a long time that you thought was a good decision, to come to find out no, that this was not productive. These things have not been good decisions. These things have not been positive and productive. These things have not been meaningful. They actually have keeping you stuck in the rut, and again, you lobbying around in your past and not living out your now, okay, in your future. And so a lot of dishonesty in today's society is, seem to be valued. But the truth is, a lie is a lie. And the truth is the truth. And so to live a life full of dishonesties, to live a life, shackled and changed in bondage because of an ideal, because of a perception, because of something that you likely were taught years ago. And because everybody do it, and everybody in my family do it. That don't mean it's right, right? And it could be something that is costing you. It could be something that is weighing you down. It could be something that's costing you opportunities. It could be something that's costing you new doors and new things to be happening for you, and they not happening because it's some stuff you need to drop a millstone on. It's some stuff you need to break free from. You need to break out. You need to burst forth. It's some things that you just need to, do away with. It's almost like, how chicks and stuff, when they are born, they have to come out their shell. Okay. And so even in the animal kingdom, you see that even animals go through a process of change. It's like even the butterfly in a cocoon, it starts off as a caterpillar, and then it goes and wrap up in a cocoon, and then comes into a butterfly. But a lot of times, that change in our lives as human beings don't happen again if we do not go through the process, if we don't do the work, if we don't put things in their proper perspective, in their proper place, if we not honest with ourselves. Okay. And so we all are challenged at times with truth, because truth is, sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes truth is painful, especially when you are gun-ho to believe something, that's true, and come to find out it was not true. It's been a lie all along. Okay. And so that happens in life. But again, I'm always encourage that you live your why, not your lie. Okay. I'm gonna say it again. You live your why and not your lie. Okay. You live your why and not your pain. Okay. You live out who you were made and created to be by the creator. And he don't make mistakes, he know exactly what he was doing when he made us all. And so we all have a unique and distinctive purpose. We're all different. We don't look like another, even twins, identical twins, they are different, because that was what the creator had in mind, that we all have a purpose. We all have something that we were born into this life to do, assignments that we are to complete. Okay. And some of us may be held up. All right. Some of us may just, not living for full fulfillment, or being, fulfilled in life, because there's some things that you need to drop a millstone on. There's some things that you just need to drop it. Just drop it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And again, I understand that it's not easy. I understand that it takes effort. I understand that it takes work. You may say, Dr. Dow, like, how do I get started? One thing I will always encourage you to get started with just acknowledging what it is. Just sitting and having that moment with self and being honest with yourself. I also am an encourager of writing because sometimes it's easy to put some things that we think and some things that we feel on paper and then look at it. Okay. But again, that takes work. You got to set aside the time. You have to, be accountable. You have to do your part. A lot of things don't happen just because you wished it happened. No, no, no. Real change comes with action, right? And it's going to take action. It's going to take you to put in that work. It's going to take you to do that inventory, make that assessment, check out some things. You may have to go back, to some things, but they should be reference points only. And you may have to go back and give some things proper acknowledgement, right? And then put them in their proper place. Okay. And so I hope that this is helpful as again, we are into a spring season. It's a good time to do that spring cleanup. Drop a millstone on some things that it's time to just let go. False burdens, wrong perception, right? You live in somebody else's ideal of who you are, and you not living who you were made and created to be. All right. It's maybe time to cut them folks loose, leave them folks alone. You go on about your business. Okay. It's time, you hoping for better, you wishing for better. You like, I want new opportunities and I'm believing they coming, but they may not be coming because you still attached to the wrong people. It may not be coming because you still going to the wrong places. It may not be coming because you still doing the wrong thing. Okay. And so, yes, do your part. Do your part. Make the necessary adjustments. Make the necessary change. Do the necessary clean up. Right? Because we have to do it. We have to do it. We have to do it. This is something that, is not always talked about in self-care, but this is self-care. This really is, because this keeps you from showing up as somebody that you're not. And it helps you show up for who you authentically are. Okay. And so a lot of times, when we carrying too much, right? We have not did, some of the work that we need to do on ourselves. We busy in everybody else's business, but we're not taking care of our own. And so when we show up with all that on us. All right. And let's be honest, some people ain't going to say a word. No, but it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to do what you need to do in your own life. It's your responsibility to get that heart a check. It's your responsibility to do the work. It's your responsibility to forgive. You want healing? Forgive. I'm going to say it again. You want healing? Forgive. You may be going through some sickness in your body. You may be going through, a doctor diagnosis. I'm going to tell you, you want healing? Forgive. Forgive. Yes, forgive, including yourself. Forgive. All right. You want change? You change. All right. Change those things that are not so nice and pleasant and trustworthy about you. Okay. You're not responsible for others, but you are responsible for yourself. And this speaks to, in terms of adults. I'm not talking about, other titles and roles as parenting and stuff like that. I'm talking about as a whole man. Adults are responsible for themselves. You're responsible for what you do. You're responsible for what you say. Okay. You're not responsible for others, say and do, but you are responsible for you. You're responsible for your reactions. You're responsible for your emotions. You are responsible for your feelings. You're responsible for what come out your mouth. Okay. So do the work. So when you show up, again, you show up as your authentic self and you show up in love, right? You show up, not, carrying the weight of the world and all your issues, on your shoulder. And so when you open up your mouth, that's what comes out. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is kind of challenging today, but I'm hoping it is helpful because I believe it's helpful. I always want to do my part in, being honest and truthful about the healing process, about, creating change, about being a change, about overcoming adversity, overcoming trauma, overcoming grief, overcoming shame. A lot of times, a lot of it is reflection of self. A lot of it is doing the work on self. And I know a lot of times it's spent on, being a victim, but I'm an advocate against the victim mentality. Okay. Yes, things happen. Things happen to people. Everything is not our fault. It could be some things that happened to you that was not your fault, but you are responsible for your healing. Okay. And you never give your pain more power over your purpose. All right. I'm Dr. Dow, the prevention advocate. That is this week's midweek mentoring moment. Hope it was helpful. Feel free to share. As always, if you are looking for help in things like this and the things that I just mentioned and talked about, or you need help getting started, you can always reach out to me and my team at drdowconsults.com. Okay. Until next time, take great good care of yourself. Do the work. All right. Have an amazing day. And until next time, peace and chat soon.